Good morning, and welcome to today's Moss Adams webcast, Future-Proof Your Organization with an EPM Solution. Before we begin, I'm going to play a brief housekeeping video.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. Moss Adams webcasts are designed to help elevate your business performance. Transform your future for the better with advisory solutions tailored to your vision and supported by our collective technical resources. Our presentation will start in a few moments. Before we begin, here are a few things to keep in mind. You can customize how you both view our presentation and interact with the presenter. For better viewing, close all other applications and turn up your speaker volume. You can also adjust window size and placement or enter full screen mode using the controls at the top of the window or dragging the bottom right-hand corner to resize. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see a series of icons, each relating to a different aspect of our session. You can download a PDF copy of today's slides from the slide deck and handouts widget. You can ask our presenter questions during the webcast by typing a question in the Q&A window and clicking Submit. We'll do our best to answer all questions during the presentation or follow up via email. If you experience technical difficulty during today's presentation, refresh your browser by hitting the F5 key. As a reminder, the presentation you're about to see is not legal, investment, or accounting advice. We encourage you to seek the counsel of a professional service provider to apply this content to your specific circumstances.
I'm pleased to introduce today's presenters from Moss Adams, Kevin Goergen and Brian Favorat, both senior managers on our enterprise systems consulting team. Kevin is a software selection advisory consultant with over 14 years of experience with enterprise resource planning systems. Throughout his extensive career, Kevin has served as a technology advisor in various capacities, including software system selection, assessment, implementation, project management, as well as functional and technical consulting. His expertise spans across a diverse range of industries, enabling him to deliver solutions to clients in aerospace and defense, construction, life sciences, manufacturing, distribution, telecommunications, nonprofit sectors, financial services, retail, and more. Kevin excels at aligning software solutions with strategic business goals to enhance operational efficiency and drive sustained growth. Kevin is a trusted advisor among his clients. His deep industry knowledge and technical experience enable him to navigate and solve the multifaceted problems that modern businesses face, making him a pivotal asset in any software selection and implementation project. Brian has experience selecting, maintaining, and deploying financial system solutions and provides management consulting services to public, private, and not-for-profit clients. He implements corporate performance management solutions that allow for enhanced analytics and business insights. He also has extensive experience managing complex technology projects from software selection through implementation. His implementation expertise includes financial and operational reporting, budget and reforecast modeling, system integrations, consolidations, allocations, workflow, and dashboard visualization. And with that, Kevin, I'll turn it over to you to get us started.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good morning. And welcome to our webinar today. On the agenda, we're going to be talking about planning and managing the business. We're going to be talking about a value-based approach to enterprise performance management, and then we'll kind of wrap up our conversation near the end there. So, enterprise performance management, what is it, and what do we want to gain from a solution like this? So EPM, it seeks to provide business stakeholders and high-level visibility over the health of the organization from a multidimensional perspective. So EPM or FP&A solutions are utilized to cut through the minutia and to cut through the detail to provide a more strategic view of the business to help support alignment and decision-making at the operational plan level. So this helps distill complexity and provide clarity to stakeholders in your organization. So a couple of things that we find among our clients in terms of what an EPM or an FP&A solution is scaling challenges. So what do our clients want to do? They want to align their growth strategy with their overall business. They want to plan around operational performance. They want to manage organizational complexity, and so we want to understand kind of what are those scaling challenges that you and your organization are facing when it comes to looking towards the future, when it comes to planning, when it comes to budgeting, or when it comes to forecasting. Oftentimes, your current financial management system is in is not actually up to par in terms of being able or enabling these solutions. So that's why people are looking for an FP&A solution. So we come to our first polling question, and our first polling question is, what scaling challenges are you having? Are you having challenges related to growth? Or do you have a changing operational environment? Are you looking to expand either nationally or internationally? Are you doing new products or service offerings? Or are you migrating to a new ERP system or brand new system? So I'll leave that up here for a moment till I see a good amount of folks responding. Okay, so growth-related challenges and changing operational environment. I also see some responses related to new ERP or changing system. And so what does this mean for you and your organization? Well, typically it means that if you're looking to grow or expand, it means that you are you're faced with some sort of dynamic challenge in your business, a changing operational environment, or perhaps a brand new ERP system you're going through implementation. And if that's the case, then you're wanting consistency. You're wanting to identify what that future growth looks like, as well as identify opportunities for that growth to be supported through your financial reporting.
Oh.
Next slide. So complexity comes in a lot of different forms in terms of your organizational structure, your changing business environment, changing systems. Maybe you're going through a merger or acquisition, or maybe there's some industry-specific criteria that you're actually that you actually need. So, what does industry-specific mean? Well, let's take a look at maybe something like construction. For a lot of our clients that are in the visibility over multiple construction-related projects, as well as their costs. And so an FP&A or an enterprise performance management system can help deliver that visibility, not only across the organization or across the various business units or perhaps revenue streams. Maybe you're doing general construction as well as maintenance. Maybe you have different, I'll say, regions that you operate in, or different states. So you want to carve those things out in I'll say in a dimension, so to speak, and you want to be able to future forecast or plan or budget around, I'll say, major projects or around these different revenue streams. Let's talk about maybe distribution and manufacturing. Maybe you're looking to launch new product lines, or you have major contracts, or you're dealing with, I'll say, a lot of cost centers. And you want to be able to carve out or budget accordingly because you have maybe a lot of different cost centers or departments, or again, a lot of different product lines. You're trying to forecast out, okay, what are my sales going to look like? What is my profitability expected to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 months out? And how do we line that up with what our ERP system is telling us in terms of what actually is occurring? And how do we adjust our plan or our budget accordingly throughout the year in order to forecast, say, better sales accuracy among, those, I'll say, maybe new product lines or new service offerings? If we're in government, we work with a lot of clients, cities, as well as counties, states, that have around the
Okay, just bear with us for a second. It looks like Kevin might be having some audio issues.
I'll give him another second here before I'll cut back in. Happy to help out.
Thanks, Brian.
So I think we might have lost Kevin. No, that's okay. So what we'll do next here is transition to another polling question. So going on along with what Kevin had been discussing there, what is complexity as it looks for your business? Organizational complexity. You have a lot of legal entities, locations, departments, cost or profit centers. Are you financially complex? You have a lot of different revenue streams, product or service lines, grants, funds or projects, or perhaps you have both, or maybe you have something else. So if you have a moment, please help us here with the polling question. Have a good amount of those coming through, approximately halfway. I think I'll leave it open here for another moment or so. All right, I think we have majority. All right, so the complexity, organizationally complex, financial complexity, or a run of both. It looks like, kind of unsurprisingly, this is, both of these resonate with everybody. And that is often what we see. Organizations, as part of their planning process, they have that organizational complexity as well as the intricacies of how they manage the business. So why now? What is the driver or the impetus behind your interest in exploring an EPM solution? What's changed? Perhaps you're raising capital or looking to acquire organizations or get acquired or merge. Have you undergone a recent system change? Are you considering one? Or are you just overburdened by manual processes that are your everyday and something that has been a constant challenge for the organization? And maybe it's time to address those. So this is a common trajectory we see with many of our clients. They've identified a business challenge that impedes the growth of their organization, and they've determined it's time to act. Often, technology is observed as a piece that will fix the problem, and for many of our clients, technology has done great things for them. But as you go through your evaluation, a solution is not simply technology, but rather something that fits within the business process of your organization. So when we evaluate a solution, the return of that solution should create great value for the organization. Here are the key components for structuring your solution evaluation for value. Develop strategy for becoming a high-performing organization with executive support. What this means is helping structure the challenge of the problem to management and articulate the implications. Understand where your organization is in the business planning maturity and define a path to implementing the strategy. Select solutions and services that will extend to address the comprehensive set of business needs. And what are those business needs? Are they well defined? Are they prioritized? What is the cost of addressing them? What is the cost of not addressing them? Identify areas for process automation to increase efficiency and reduce manual errors. And then embed compelling visualizations and analytics in the business process to drive actionable insights against key business metrics. Actionable insights need some sort of platform for communication. High-performing organizations need a way to bring together the pieces of the planning process. The plan itself, performance of the plan, the people involved, and all of this needs to be encompassed by a solution that will allow for effective communication. Generally, data is the link that ties this all together. Some common capabilities of a solution include input of plan information, reporting consolidation, planned actuals variances, what-if scenarios, summary of key results, and FP&A dashboards. So another quick polling question here. What is the biggest challenge your organization faces in the planning process? Is it aligning team goals with organizational objectives, resource allocation and budgeting, adapting to market changes and uncertainties, implementing and tracking the plan effectively, or perhaps something else? So if you have a moment, please answer the polling question. All right, starting to come in now. Probably taking a little bit of thought. Maybe it's one of these, maybe it's a bunch of these. I'm thinking that some of you out there might be struggling to answer which one fits perfectly, and could be different combinations, but whichever here seems to resonate the most with you, please go ahead and let us know, and we'll let the rest of the group kind of observe and see what everybody has going on. So we're nearly there. I think we have just about a majority. Maybe some final submissions. All right, let's take a look at the results. So aligning team goals with organizational objectives, we have some out there. Resource allocation and budgeting, okay, common problem there. Adapting to market changes and uncertainties. Implementing and tracking the plan effectively. It seems like we have a tie there between resource allocation, budgeting, and implementing and tracking the plan effectively. Not too unsurprising, perhaps some other things going on. All right, thank you for providing your feedback. We do find with these challenges, a common theme among organizations is that they struggle with measuring the business effectively. What I mean by that is they're spending an inordinate amount of time managing data operations and report construction and control, rather than analyzing the outputs to enable them to do the strategic work. On the left side, you see what is often the current state. What most high-performing organizations strive toward is what you see on the right side of the screen. This can manifest itself in many ways. As Kevin had alluded to, data operations reporting can be so time-consuming because of complexity in the organization, lots of people in the business planning process, sophisticated planning, decentralized planning with lots of spreadsheets, non-standard processes. If any of that resonates with you, you are most certainly not alone. To continue our discussion on measuring the business, one of the key reasons we are looking to have good information and insights soon is because of the decision-making window. For many, after the month closes, a bunch of work happens. It takes a couple of weeks to put together. Then management usually asks the question, what happened? Let's change the script a little bit. Let's say the organization has a process that allows them near real-time information as to how things are trending in the month. With that, instead of answering what happened, you can now see what is happening. This is much more powerful, as it gives decision makers at all levels of the organization the ability to react in the moment and affect the outcome. If you let too much time pass, the information you have becomes less valuable, and managers won't be able to make the same impact as information with the information they have, as it's not reflective of the current state. For one of our clients, I recently asked them, how long does it take them to do their reforecasting process? He told me it would take approximately 2 weeks to close and consolidate the books, then another week or two to update the forecasting documents. By the time it was complete, the business environment had already significantly changed. After implementing an EPM solution, they can now observe what is happening in the period for key metrics and complete the whole management reporting package in significantly less time. Key metrics could be how sales are trending, how a business unit or operation is doing in terms of spend to budget, or what the cash position is at any given point in time. The purpose of an EPM solution is to enable these kinds of key insights for the people that need them in the period that they need them. Let's continue with the theme of what is happening. For many organizations, business planning is a stop and go process. As you can see in the top chart, they update their plans to reflect the actuals and forecasts for the current year, current period, and then proceed forward, isolating just the immediate period. For greater scalability, organizations adopt a continuous planning process that isn't as arduous to maintain, and it allows for constant evaluation of an ongoing and rolling outlook. So with that, looking at the chart you have here, again, just to iterate on what you're seeing in the bottom, it's an ongoing, constant effort rather than, okay, let's all get together and do this massive planning ordeal. Everybody's got to go fill them out at a certain point in time. And it really becomes this particularly strenuous task to get everyone in alignment with what is happening. But rather, if you create an environment where business managers, and again, that could be a variety of different levels, have the ability to access some sort of solution that they can input, perhaps at certain windows or at any given time, they can more immediately observe the impact that a change might have in the organization. They might want to do some what-if analysis of themselves. Perhaps, like I mentioned before, it's a sales manager that's thinking that sales might come in a little bit higher or lower from a unit metric, or for services, maybe a different kind of discount rate needs to be applied to be able to achieve certain sales metrics. If any of these assumptions are to be evaluated, you need to have a platform that allows for that sort of thing, and that can then sum it all together to see what the total business unit or organizational outlook might be. All right, we'll do another polling question here. How often do your department managers see updated comparisons between business results and the plan? Are they seeing that continuously? Are you doing it on a weekly cadence, a monthly or quarterly cadence, or maybe something else? And if it's something else, I wouldn't be all too surprised. For some organizations, maybe they have somewhat of an incomplete business process, or they're only able to do it to a certain extent. And what they're striving towards is being able to complete it, at least on some regular cadence, and get that to be happening more on a reoccurring basis. Continuous, while I think for a lot of organizations that might seem daunting, building a system and processes that enable for that sort of thing, it doesn't have to be an overnight success, but something that we stride toward, something that we're really trying to achieve through a deliberate effort. But that effort has to have a lot of structure and centralization around it that allows for these processes to happen in appropriate timeframes. So I think we're a little past halfway here in terms of submissions. So if I could, if anybody else wants to make a little contribution here before I close out the poll, please go ahead. All right, let's take a look at the results. So how often do your department managers see updated comparisons between the plans? A few people on continuous, some people weekly, monthly and quarterly. So monthly is the big winner here, and that's great. We see a lot of organizations working on that sort of cadence. So congratulations to all of you. I hope that process is going well and it's manageable. But as everyone knows, everybody's on different processes. So if you are doing it monthly and it's problematic, perhaps it's time to reflect on some of the different components in that might make that task a bit easier for you. All right, we're just going to finish up here with a couple parting thoughts. So just to recap quickly, benefits of an enterprise performance management solution. It allows you to develop and maintain the business plan, measure the business in an effective way, and drive the business forward. And that is really the keys of this solution. There's all kinds of problems that can manifest in small ways, but ultimately at the end of the day, what we're trying to help people to do is drive back to this notion of whatever processes or solutions we put out there, we have to receive a return from them that really enables us to do better as an organization in a variety of different ways, but namely in decision making. So with that, continuous engagement drives value. It allows you to be responsive, be adaptable, be collaborative, and it empowers your people to make the decisions they need to be in control of their processes in the time frame that they need it. So with that, I'm happy to wrap up a little bit early today. Thank you all for joining, and I will turn it back over to Emily.
All right. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Kevin, for a great presentation today. Any questions that came in, we'll be doing our best to follow up with you after the webcast via email, or you may reach out directly to Kevin or Brian here. Here is a link to an online survey where you can provide feedback for today's presentation. Please take a moment to complete this survey, as your feedback is very important to us. Please also visit mossadams.com for future webcasts and other resources to help elevate your performance. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you'll join us again next time.